So, like many of you, I kind of feel misled by TV and movies with how they portray high school. You grew up watching Degrassi, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, and trust me, I was paying attention because I would always watch this close to the TV. Yeah, if you thought these glasses were just for the look, you're wrong. They're a consequence of my stupidity growing up, but that's besides the point here. It felt like all these TV characters had their own stylist, and none of them ever went to class. It's like they were always in the hallway by the lockers, hanging with their friends, plotting against their enemies, saying how stupid that teacher looks in that tie. Typical TV tropes. But you've heard of Euphoria. Great show, by the way. But if your high school experience was anything like mine, oof, Euphoria is more like it. You can call it a relief, a disappointment, but everybody dressed casually. There were the certain few that dressed however they wanted. Some of you got dress coded every day because you do what you want. And as you say, haters gonna hate. Leave it to the uncool 25-year-old to ruin slang for you. But I caught a vibe. Sorry, Willow. That the only thing that high school and TV prepared me for, what was that hesitation there? The only thing that TV prepared me for with high school was all the PDA in the hallway. Because who are you trying to impress? I get it, they're yours, but do you have to? You guys gotta take a pause to breathe. Yes, we can feel the love tonight. It is where we are. But the bell's about to ring. Stop it. And you know what? Lockers are not what they were cracked up to be. Because, the one year that I had a locker, it was on the bottom row. Yeah. All my junior year, my nickname was Tripping Hazard. But that was just exclusive in Building 4. So, high school, the best years of your life, huh? Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. Now, I hope everybody had a great St. Patrick's Day, and daylight savings didn't catch you too off guard. Personally, this was the first occasion I wasn't aware I was supposed to change my clock. Did you guys... Here's something pretty interesting. Daylight savings actually is a thing because of farmers. Did you know that? Yeah. I guess what they say is true. Us city folks, we really don't get it. So Arthur just ended after 25 years on PBS. And as hard as it is to say goodbye to a big part of our childhood, a lot of us had no idea the show was still on the air. Actually, you know what? I think it's appropriate to do this. Can we roll it, please? It feels like it's all about streaming these days. Kids today, phooey on cable. Like they're all about Coco Melon, Baby Shark, Peppa Pig, and Takis, aren't they? But PBS is the home of educational television. And it's made possible by viewers like us. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, isn't it? You will not believe the last couple weeks I've had, ladies and gentlemen. It happened a while ago, but I'm still thinking about it. It was just crazy, like hectic. When can we expect season 3 of Euphoria? Because I'm all caught up and I have so many unanswered questions. Like, what's gonna happen with Rue and Jules, or Maddie and Cassie gonna make up? So much is going on. But seriously though, I feel like it's my mission to always be open to the viewer and always be honest and tell them what's going on when I'm ready. So, about 7:30 a.m. March 2nd, I was involved in a car accident. Now, a lot of people are not as lucky. Like, I was lucky enough to just have some minor pains from the airbag. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, this is the longest setup ever, Rob. When are you going to get to the punchline? I mean, we come here for the jokes, not for sob stories. I love you too. But I'm just grateful I'm in one piece. I'm grateful I survived. And I just found out prior to this episode being filmed that the driver was at fault and they were driving without a license, driving carelessly, but that part we knew already. I'm just glad that when I explained the story, or before I knew all the details, I wasn't being biased when I explained it. And, initially I was going to take time off during this, but I decided I'm just going to come on here as scheduled and try to be 100%, even though I'm about at a 87. Yeah, I've always been a B average. I feel like I may have jinxed this whole situation with something I said in last show. Why don't I remind you of the context? So, as some of you may have heard, recently I hit 1,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah, that wasn't my best day. I mean, they were in the middle of the street, and I really shouldn't have had my phone out, so in a way we were both at fault. Where was I going with that? Ouch. Now, it's a very normal response, yeah. It's a very normal response to hear some unfortunate news and be like, man, that sucks, but I'm so glad that hasn't happened to me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta do my own electrical work. You see, like, we're all human here, but we're not always gonna knock on wood. Say what you want about superstition. All I know is that jinxing a situation can either be seen as pure coincidence or straight up irony, And I'd hate to sound all after school special about this, but don't assume that bad things aren't going to happen, because they might, no matter how ridiculous the scenario. Like, let's say you're at the zoo and you fall into the primate exhibit. Before you know it, you're being cradled like a baby in a gorilla's arms. Some of you might call that a dream come true, but if you ask me, that's a nightmare. That's more like it. How about this? Final Destination is a great example of what could possibly go wrong. Apparently everything. But yeah, if you're not familiar, all 5 movies basically follow the same formula. The protagonist has a premonition, and then he and a group of people reluctantly leave whatever is about to happen and see it happen before their eyes. I'm great at spoiler-free reviews, aren't I? And they all get picked off one by one in the most ironic ways possible. Whatever happened to predictability. But yeah, just imagine if people involved in the Final Destination phenomenon were eligible for legal compensation. I mean, did the negligence of somebody who had a premonition leave you and your friends being picked off one by one? You could be eligible for legal compensation, but hurry up, because time is running out and our lawyers work for you. so you can get a big check for the rest of your life, which I assume is like 2 weeks or something like that. I mean, we've all heard the song Ironic by Alanis Morissette, and if you haven't, no one's judging you, but where have you been? But isn't it ironic how in We Don't Talk About Bruno, they also talk about rain on a wedding day? How about the fact that the song sounds identical to Havana by Camila Cabello? Don't you think? So, I think about a lot of the stuff I've said on the show in the past, and some of the things that unfortunately happened ironically after saying them. And after this whole thing with the car accident, I think I should really watch what I say from now on, I'll hold you to it. Rod, please, don't jinx this for me. And, haven't I been through enough this week? You're right. Your life's been hot enough. Thank you. I mean, what's that supposed to mean? Well, we've got a lot of show to fill, so that being said, I'm going to need a minute. Now, sometimes I feel a little nostalgic. Now, I can hear some of you being like, my boy, spelled B-O-I, my boy Rob says he feels a little nostalgic, yet he collects videotapes. That's more than a little, my friend. And to that I say, I was actually going through my tapes from childhood. I was hoping I would find more of these orange ones, but nope, just this one. Stupid yard sales. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Back when I graduated high school with my graduation money, I bought a bunch of episodes of Animaniacs on iTunes. Yeah, back when I didn't realize you can get any show for free on the internet. Shame. But when I tell you this show has self-awareness to a T, you can't get more meta than this cartoon. Maybe Tiny Toons, but said Deadpool, hey, I resent that. No. Not everything has to be about you, Wade. I mean, look at Uncle Ben over here. He's behaving in the corner. I mean, you see a lot of self-awareness in TV and movies these days. Like, commercials are starting to kind of blend together. I mean, the other day I saw a commercial for Subway, and it was two sandwiches walking in the park. The 6-inch asks the footlong, Hey, footlong, do you ever get that not so fresh feeling? Listen, I'm subscribed to Hulu. We get a lot of weird commercials. It's time for that weekly list known as the possibility list. It's kind of like when your house key isn't working, but then you realize, wait a minute, this isn't my house. Alright, this week's list is titled 4 Famous Quotes Made Better Spoken by Microsoft Sam. Alright, this is our first audio possibility list. And number 4.
Winter is coming.
Number 3.
In Wednesdays, we wear pink.
Number 2.
Save 15% or more in car insurance.
And number 1. 4 famous quotes made better spoken by Microsoft Sam.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Alright, and that is the possibility list for you this week. So, per usual, my mind is always somewhere else, part-time. And I thought I'd share some journal entries with you. We've done this before, and I think it went pretty well. So, can we get some music? There we go. Why did things always happen out of the blue? Why not any other color? 9:15 p.m. Imagine if Control-Alt-Delete applied to everyday life situations. That would be cool. 8:35 a.m. If dry erase markers had a convention, wouldn't that technically be an expo? 7:30 p.m. TikTok addiction is no joke. 5:45 a.m. Alright. Thank you for listening to my journal entries. Well, that is the show for you this week. You know to follow me on social media. Until next time, maybe I'm just a literal thinker, but whenever I hear someone say, that's the straw that broke the camel's back, I'm thinking, who goes to the desert and pelts camels with straws? Like, that's just insane. Well, that's my time. See ya.